So, okay, here we go. We move into Marriage Toxin, episode 13, season 1 finale. And it starts where episode 12 left off with the Beast Clan lady, and she rescues Dogo and Byako. And she's just like, hey, boys, gotta go. Oh, Garo, I heard you were looking for a mate. You want some of this shit? And Garo's like, what? And then she narrates she'll see Garo again. And the 5 families are moving toward unification after hundreds of years. And then she just teleports away with her giant wolf, and that's that. Peachy is like, all right, I guess we go back. And Garo, the hard part is coming, and I'm rooting for you, for your marriage thing. The ladies show up, and Ushio water taxis them back on a boat, and Arashiyama is like, time to show our appreciation, and all the Beast Clan people show up and give them an aquarium circus thank you show, and Garo is like, Arashiyama, you're cool as fuck. May takes the chance to start more conversation, and they talk romance. And May asks Peachy about his girlfriend, and he's like, she's fucking number one girl, NA, and he's a piece of shit, and he learned happiness from her. Garo's like, holy shit, Peachy, you said all that without hesitation or embarrassment. Is this how a girl's guy actually acts? But May doesn't hesitate to set the stage and plan for Garo and Arashiyama, and she's like, stay cool like Peachy and get her number. And May cues Garo up, but Garo gets cold feet. But Arashiyama takes the lead, and she says that she likes Garo, but says she can't marry him because she isn't up to her own standards yet. And if she went with Garo now, she would end up dependent on him.
People often forget that you can also grow in a relationship. And don't sell yourself short getting something that you want when you believe that you're not necessarily ready for it, but you still have like things you want to accomplish. Sure. But we're living in a world right now where a lot of people are saying a hard stop to like even engaging with somebody else because you haven't achieved your goals. Your plans are years in the future, and you can still grow together and like work on your mental health together. If somebody gives a shit about you, they're giving a shit about you right now, and they will continue to like care for you, and you're not going to ruin a relationship like with that jaded view of yourself, right? You know what I'm saying here?
I hear what you're saying. I agree to a certain extent.
I'm saying don't sell yourself short, but still understand you need to grow.
Yes. So my note here says, Arashiyama, you're a gem, working on herself before entering a relationship. What a girl. And I do hear what you're saying, but I always look at it this way, right? Every single person has a foundation. We're all a house. We have to build a foundation first. And then once we have a solid foundation, we can start building on top of that. And I think what she's saying, and normally what I tell people as well, is like you need that solid foundation, because if you don't have that foundation, not even necessarily like she wants to achieve a goal or like do anything in particular, but she just wants to be able to build that solid foundation for herself. So if you take the foundation example in like houses, if you have one foundation that's solid and then you have another foundation that is made of quicksand, then when you start to build, then the quicksand portion is going to start to sink whatever is built upon those foundations. And there's nothing that that solid foundation part can do to help the quicksand foundation part, because that quicksand foundation part of the relationship needs to be solid before it engages with another person. Now, if two people had solid foundations, then you can grow from there. And obviously, like, you can lean on each other and help each other to build on top of these two solid foundations that you have. But I think that's what Arashiyama is saying, is that she doesn't have her solid foundation yet, and she wants to build that foundation first. And then once she has that, then she'll come find Garo so they can build a house on top of that shit. And it's not going to be fucking circus mirror house all fucking lopsided and shit because her side's falling down while his side is standing up. For the highest success, you would probably want that. And I would bring it back to something like if you cannot live on your own, then I don't know if you should be living with somebody else. And I think that's her point as well, is because if she lived with Gero now, she would end up depending on him. In this example, with Arashiyama and Gero, if she ends up depending on Gero the whole time and Gero dies, he gets Beast Clan mastered, sanguine blood, modified bloodline plus kill Gero.
Yeah.
Then Arashiyama's dead because she's completely dependent on Gero. But if you are two independent standing things, even if one part of it gets destroyed, you can still continue moving on.
Human mind is incredibly malleable. But I do think that it's like the saying, don't judge a fish by how it climbs a tree. Some people are more like cats, independent, very, self-sustaining. If you were to die, your cat's probably going to figure out a way, not to get out of the house, but like figure out how to live for a little while. Right?
Yeah, they'll just eat your dead.
You'll eat your fucking face.
Yeah.
Right? While a dog would probably do the same thing to a certain extent. Dogs, I think, have more dependency based on how we've bred them. I think people have that same thing. If you are a person that has a really hard time living on your own, that doesn't mean you're not a complete person. And it doesn't mean you have to work on that portion to have a successful relationship. There are some people that just work well symbiotically when they have someone else that's like, okay, you're the independent person. I'm the anxious attachment type of person. We work well together because you give my day-to-day life formula and progression and goals more tangible than I would be without myself. Or without you, sorry. You get what I'm saying here?
I do. I don't know if I agree, but I hear what you were saying.
I think in an ideal scenario, the formula of, hey, we should both be two independent people that come together and make each other better based on the foundations that we already have set in ourselves. Yes, I 100% agree because I'm that type of person as well. But as a person, I have to recognize that other people don't have those same abilities and they still deserve and should have the availability to have love in their lives.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is like if you don't follow Greg Big Smart Jesus love equation, you're going to fail at like love life at all.
I know that.
It would be the most successful and the most healthy to do it that way. I'm not saying you have to do it that way. And there's lots of instances of it working out, not with the equation that I have laid out. But also it's like a lot of it too is you don't need to have all of that stuff like on lock, but you need to have like an awareness of day-to-day life foundational stuff, and you need to have a good intent in terms of like trying to achieve that. I'm not saying you have to be like grandmaster, I'm good at my finances and like I can cook and clean and shit, but you should be aware of it and work towards it.
Yes, and this is exactly why like young love has a lot of issues, because people aren't completely themselves. They sacrifice a lot of their learning in their adolescence to have that love and that companionship that we're taught so early is like the most important thing in your life.
But we can both agree that Arashiyama is good girl, right? She good girl.
Yeah, she's great. She's smart.
Girl.
I like her the most out of all the characters.
And Gero does too. Gero is like, sick, I'll be waiting. And now Gero has 4 friends on his phone. Ushio drops them off and is like, send me my money, you fucks, and then swims away. And Gero's like, damn, is she upset about something? I don't know. And Maya's like, hey, where's Peachy? And Peachy gets in his girl's car and she's like, did you have a good time with your friends? I know group activities aren't your thing. And he's like, yeah, it was fun. Maya's like, what are you going to do, Arashiyama? And she's like, I'm going to open a detective agency. And Maya's like, oh, I thought you were going to do more cute shows with those hamsters. And she's like, nah, a detective is way cooler. And she has an internal monologue about how she wants to find what happened with her brother. Gero's like, man, all these girls are sick, and it makes me want to become sick too. But then it cuts to Gero's dad with a giant vat of insects and a dude named Teruaki just chilling inside of the vat of insects. And he's like, how's that sweet vat of poison? And Teruaki is like, it's sick as fuck. I almost died. And Garo's dad is like, well, let's talk about Garo's marriage. And then it cuts back to Garo and May at a family restaurant talking to some girl about what to do about love.
I have a question. Why does Garo's dad give a shit about the marriage at all? I get that he's like, oh, I'll marry somebody to save my sister. It's been a while, right? Has it been 2 weeks in this anime?
You know what I think is actually going to happen? So in that scene and with Teruaki, it feels like Garo's dad and Teruaki are going to sabotage Garo's marriage and fuck Garo, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think in the long term, it's going to be some weird thing like his dad is going to, push Garo and do all this stuff just so he understands some sort of life lesson and has like a healthy marriage. And in the end, he's going to it's for the betterment of himself and getting married, not like, hey, let's kill Garo because he's marrying too slow.
Right. But my thing is like, I don't think he's going to try and kill Garo either. But also, shouldn't they actually be upset how long this is taking?
Well, Garo's only what, 21, 23,
22, right? Something like
yeah, so he's got time.
Early 20s.
He's got time.
Yes, but also they were the ones pushing for this.
And another part of me feels like they were pushing him specifically to expedite his uncurable master poison shit that they were talking about so much in episode 12 and episode 11. How like, oh, it's going to take 20 years for you to ascend and get the ultimate poison, Garo. I think at that time when Garo saved Arashiyama, I think they said, but I think he was around 10 or so. And then when Garo's dad in the flashback was like, hey, Garo, like, maybe in 20 years, you're going to make this master poison or whatever. So Garo's basically made the poison in half the time than was predicted or whatever. And I think that might be something that his dad is either like looking for or looking at, or maybe it's not at the poison clan's expected potency or something. And then they're going to work off of that story point, possibly. I don't know. I think it's going to be something stupider than that, to be honest, but...
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree.
But Garo and May are at a family restaurant talking to some girl about what to do about love. And May says he wants Garo to tag along while he gives love advice. Next up is a rugby player, and the rugby player is like, I want to date my manager. And May is like, Garo, what should he do next? And Garo's like, put your heart into it, I guess? Oh, be polite. And he's like, sick man, thanks. That's exactly what I needed to hear. And Garo is still super nervous. So he goes and he cleans the entire restaurant's toilets, and everyone is like, holy shit, is this magic? But then they meet more people, and Garo's brain is on fire. And Garo is like, fuck, man, I'm just going to shoot up. I'm going to shoot up some intellectual linguistic enhancer toxin, silver tongue, to get through this. But May is like, nah, man, what the fuck are you doing? May is like, there is no right answers. Everyone is just trying their best. And the other day, with Arashiyama, you lost all confidence. But that proves you're giving your all, just like everybody else. They finish up, and Garo is doing a candy kit to reward himself. And May is like, time for some skiaki. And Garo is like, sorry, I got plans. But Garo's like, hey, May, you know what? We've been through a lot since I almost tried to fucking kill you. And it's been fun. And all I had before were candy kits. And then they have a good laugh. So they bonded there. I thought Garo was going to like say he was going to bang May or something, but
well,
no,
I don't think that's, I think their evolution of their relationship is actually, it took fucking 12 episodes, but here we are, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. But then it cuts to Garo meeting up with his sister, and she's like, how's it going? And he's like, it's okay, I guess. And she's like, damn, that marriage advisor must be good. But then she tells him that the branch families and Teruaki are up to no good. And it cuts to Teruaki looking at a picture of May on his smartphone while he stands on top of a fucking water tower overlooking the city for no reason. And that is the finale of Marriage Toxin Season 1. And Season 2 has already been announced, so we will see more of our friends May and Garo and Peachy and Love.
Yeah. All in all, it's fine season finale. It's like Wisteria, like a lot of these animes are not like cliffhanging lately to try and like just keep you roped in and waiting. They're doing a good job of like making complete seasons, but this is just like an extra, oh, what happens next? Because I mean, realistically, if you watch this in its entirety, you have a couple questions, but nothing that hasn't really been answered. You know, Garo is still doing the same thing. So
I liked this episode just because of the rom-com aspects of it, which is what I was expecting out of the whole anime. We didn't get a lot of it. We got it sparingly throughout the series, which is very unfortunate. And then we got a bunch of action, which we didn't ask for, or I didn't ask for anyway.
yeah,
And yeah, like I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed the interaction between Garo and Arashiyama. I enjoyed Ushio's interaction because obviously she has some sort of feelings for Garo. And when Arashiyama was laying out her feelings while she was literally towing all of them in a fucking boat, then I think she might have a thing for Garo, and she was a little,
yeah, for sure.
you know, like nervous / anxious / upset when she left, and that's why she left so fast. I would have liked to see a little update on the other girls, Himekawa, Shiori, just see how they were doing, because they kind of left it up in the air where Himekawa is still waiting for that lunch, I guess, to go out to fucking lunch with Garo, and Shiori is probably driving around Japan trying to find Garo on her motorcycle, and he's fucking on an island with 2 other girls, I guess. Oh, and then we have the potential next romance partner, which is Beast Clan.
Beast Girl. Yeah.
Yeah. White wolf, black hair, Dami mommy fucking over there. Potential. It's like, cool, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it was just a lot of like, I don't know, just they dabbled in a lot of stuff, but then there wasn't really any closure. There wasn't any conclusion, really. I mean, maybe Arashiyama the best so far, because she was just kind of like, hey, I can't marry you right now or go out with you. I got to work on myself. And
yeah,
so at least, you know, we kind of understand what her position is. But the other 2 girls, it seems like they're just sitting at home waiting for Garo.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to like see them later where Garo's going to be in a pinch and Shiori's going to use her like company contacts or her crazy uncle hula hoop seat guy to like get them out of a pickle and stuff.
Hula hoop seat guy. Love it.
Yeah, so I wanted to see more of that.
Yeah, me too. This was funny.
Yeah, just more like the romance part of it. And I just feel like in general, like how you said, they kind of lost their path, in my opinion, where maybe they were trying to attract too many different demographics here with the action and like the romantic comedy stuff and just do a blend. But yeah, I just feel like this modifying bloodline plus sanguination mixed rom-com with action didn't actually pan out like Dogo, and then he just got poisoned and now he's dead. Or not dead, but he's inside the mouth.
Oh, he's in. Yeah, him and Byako are just wolf mouthing it. Okay, well, that is our opinions. What is your rating, Greg?
My rating for Marriage Toxin, I gave the animation a 9. It was good. Animation was really good. I don't think I really had any problems other than those specific parts with Peachy cutting up the squid. And then I think there was another part with Peachy that looked really weird. And then I didn't like Peachy's entrance because it was very Sakamoto-esque. I didn't like his Cubone helmet and bone sword thing.
Yeah.
I gave the animation a 9. More or less, it was really, really good. Character development, I gave a 6. I wasn't super happy about it, but they did develop characters. They developed Arashiyama. Garo obviously grew a little bit from here. We saw fucking Bugmaster. The girls grew. Ushio grew. Shiori grew. Whether it was how I wanted them to grow is a different story. But you know, I can't really take away that they did grow. So it's above average. I gave the story a 4. I didn't think the story was that strong because what they delivered to us was Garo, Poison Clan head, needs wife, make babies, and heirs. And that was kind of the story. And we get little side quests here where now he's a dark web bodyguard guy and stuff. But I thought the story was actually pretty weak. So that's why it's a 4. My personal feelings is also a 4. Yeah, as we said before, it's just not exactly how I thought it was going to turn out, how it was going to be. We did get some glimpses of what I thought the whole season was going to kind of be about, but they were few and far between. So that's why my enjoyability and feelings of it are so low. So in total, it gets a 5.
Okay. I gave it a 6. I think the animation hyper carried. I didn't even think the animation was that good. But in my heart, I watched it all. I enjoyed a few episodes. It's so much more than like something like Failure Frame. So I feel like based on my enjoyment of and recency bias of it, I think I gave it a 6, just based on the last episode making me kind of want to watch season 2.
I don't know if I'd recommend it, really, because I feel like for like rom-coms, you can go with other animes
so much better stuff
than this. And I just don't think this hybrid action / rom-com style that Marriage Toxin has going on is very impactful. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could watch Dan to Dan instead of this if you want like an
100%.
action rom-com.
Yeah. My Dress Up Darling.
Yeah, oh, My Dress Up Darling, 100%.